Oh,
Everybody online?
yeah.
My.
Online. Well, that's because they're all en route because they know there's gonna be free food after the TV.
Oh, that's true.
So they're like, you know. All right, let's start out with something good. Bucket fills, what's good?
Cream
Is
cone.
that ice cream cone that looks really good? Except for I actually wouldn't eat that.
I don't even know how you attack
So my wife Samantha is getting her real estate license.
Yes.
She passed her second proctored exam today. And she's cruising every morning, 3:45. She's studying, she's doing her stuff, and she's pumped. So she has.
Did you say that she is studying at 3:45
Yeah, she
AM?
gets up at 3:45. We have kids, man. We got stuff we gotta do.
You're like early bird, yeah.
3:45, she's up studying, so I'm proud of her. She's getting it done.
That is so awesome. When is she gonna be done?
Hopefully, we said by end of July is her goal.
End of July. I'm excited for this because the two of you being you two, it's just gonna be really fun to watch. It's gonna be so good.
It could be really bad. One or the other.
It's gonna be good. Can't wait. Oh. How quickly can. Awesome. All right, what else? What else is good?
My daughter's going to camp on Sunday and it's 5 nights overnight. And she has only had a sleepover with family.
Where is that?
It's just north of Lake Mille Lacs.
Yeah.
And she's like so excited. Her best friend's going there. And I'm like just proud of her that she wants.
I know it's out of the comfort zone.
Yeah, she really likes home. So I mean,
And once they're there, they're there. So she's gonna have to work through whatever, like, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
probably cry a lot. but-
I asked when, because my daughter's work staff up at a camp, this Sunday through Friday, but it's not that. So, what else? What else is good? There's a lot of camps. All my kids are older, there's not many camps.
So we had a wine and cheese event at one of our listings in Deep Haven.
Yeah.
And we had a bunch of realtors from the office show up. So thank you so much for that. It was super helpful. Deserts, John Butler, Christie.
And Lydia.
Eric.
Yeah. A bunch of people came and they provided some feedback, which is great. It's only been on the market for 7 days, but we got $100,000 reduction. And as a result, we've got a showing this afternoon of a unrepresented buyer. That's really a good prospect. So that was all just great. So appreciate everyone coming and providing feedback. Both homers are there. So
Awesome.
yeah, it was really cool. And then we had our super awesome admin came as well. So we had Heather there and Lydia. So yeah, it was just fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Super cool. What else? There's a lot of yellow. I mean, maybe it's just like yellow's like bright. Yeah, I like it.
Just bucket filling Sherry, she is helping me stay sane. I have a grandson that was just born this morning.
Right.
Having another one next week, so that'll be 12 grandchildren and
That's a lot of grandbabies.
it is a lot of babies and I asked they had
Oh, fun.
so the oldest is 8, there's 12 of them.
Oh my gosh.
2 fresh ones this week and
Have the show.
They are.
not even spoiled yet. But Sherry's just keeping me steady and allowing me to have sanity.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome.
I know that I'm new, but I do my bucket fills. Like without them, I don't know where I know I'm new, but like without their direction, I would be lost. I would be a lost puppy.
That's awesome. Awesome job. Awesome job. Like. What else? What else we got? Because we had some good stuff today.
Are you gonna share?
I'll bucket fill baby. I really hated her at the end of last week.
You gotta probably, well, she actually came into coaching yesterday. She's like, I just want to tell you that I actually was really mad at you. Like, I was really mad at you. And I was like, oh. Do you want to stand in line or which one? What is this for?
But I mean, it was one of those pivot adjustments that I needed to make in my head and my heart, that kind of thing. So, thank you. I didn't like it today, but I like it. So, thank you.
I mean, I even made it,
Hard work, harsh and necessary work.
I even made it home for you to be mad at me. Like, your husband now knows I'm not maybe a good person, or maybe he does know it now. I'm not sure.
So, that's too good fun. I'm not sure I love. But
Awesome.
I just want to bucket fill everybody in the office that has their CE done and they have
Yay.
renewed their license so far. We still have
I think my
a
dues are
good
paid,
number
though.
of people out there, but a lot of people have their stuff done. So that is awesome. We're June 17th. So yeah.
And if you don't, you're gonna be annoyed by Candy for the next
It's coming.
2 weeks. You're gonna see her send an email and you don't get to get mad at her because she's just helping you out. All right? All right. Anybody else? All right, we're good. June calendar. So June calendar is up. Today we have a ton of stuff. So we have the team meeting, we have our block party right after this. So when we're done, go down the stairs, take the elevator, this side of the building. I think it is hamburgers, salads, chips. I don't know what they all got, but it's gonna be fun. The ALC is putting that on for us today. And then tonight is our R&R.
Yeah, Cowboy Jack's, right up the street. I mean, it's right on, 494 and Rockford Road. So super, super easy to get to, and, its prices there are crazy cheap during happy hour. So that's kind of fun. Great conversation. One of the things we want to talk a little bit about is the interest rates and our clients that are saying, hey, we don't want to move because of the interest rates. What are our options there? And there's quite a few. So it should be good. So, but just come in and enjoy and meet some people, and good way to get to know some of the people in the office.
I think that's the biggest thing is it's,
Yeah.
it's an environment to get to know. And here's the other piece. If you don't want to eat food, if you don't want to drink beverages, you can have a Diet Coke. Her fountain Diet Coke's great, water, whatever. But it takes people out of the work environment, because a lot of times when we're in the office, right, people are running around doing things. Maybe you don't get to have the conversations that you want to have with them or be able to ask the questions that you'd like to. That gives you a space to be able to do that and introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm just curious, how do you do X, Y, Z, or what do you think about this? I think a lot of the tight relationships in this market center have come out of different events like this. Do you agree, Rick?
I do. It's been great. I've gotten to know people so much better for exactly that reason.
Yeah.
It's so quick in the office sometimes, and then once you just settle down there, and have a conversation with someone, it's great.
Awesome. We will be closed tomorrow in observance of Juneteenth. Block party. Well, what was that?
I was just gonna say, there's still 2 Wednesdays to be claimed, so if anyone wants to host, feel free.
And that sign up is on the front desk,
Yep.
right? Clean.
I have a vendor who likes that.
You can chat
Oh,
with
what-
Lydia and Candy on that one.
Ooh, okay, all right.
Sure. Why not? I mean, my children are always running around somewhere. My furry children or my actual children. All right, boat cruise, we have what is today? We have 12 days? We have 12 days to get a listing. So if you do not have your ticket yet onto this boat cruise and you are like, I want a listing, and you're like, I am not getting traction, come see one of us so that we can help, right? We want as many people on this to be able to have fun as we can. Rules are you have to have a listing, you have to have listing signed, you have to have it in Command and uploaded into Command. Which, if you have a listing, it should be in Command anyways, because it has to be withheld from MLS or gone active, right? If you're on a team and your buyer's agent refers to someone, you also get a ticket then once it is submitted into Command and signed. If you are support of a team, you are automatically on the boat. July 16th, 1 to 3, is that correct? 1 to 3. Any questions around this?
Be sure to check Candy's door too. If
Oh,
you
yeah,
think
so
you're
if
on.
your picture is not up there, let us know that it should be so that we can count you so that you're on there. Otherwise, we want to get you on that boat. All right.
Are you meeting that day? Is that correct?
Yes, we actually have an agent.
Go.
Compliance bingo, that's
Love
what it
that.
is. Don't laugh.
Don't feel like it. Brady.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have a few people already signed up for this, so I know we stressed this last time. This is not a class for necessarily you, right? If you don't want to go to it. It is for anyone that is interested in getting into real estate, either have not been in the classes, are in the classes, or are like, hey, you know what, I feel stuck. I have my real estate license, but I want to hear kind of what the trajectory looks like to increase your business or kind of get on the path of success in real estate. So if you know anyone, if it's a friend, a family member, a client, send this to them, have them sign up. When they sign up and come to this class, you get $20, cash, $20 bill. We can get in tens, fives, ones, whatever you'd like. But the real point of this is just like you, the way that we become successful is with referrals, right? And what we found with new agents is the new agents that are usually the ones that complete the classes and then come in. It's a higher, turnover conversion rate for us when they are referred to us by an agent in the office or a friend that we know, right? If you know someone at a different brokerage that is struggling or only had one transaction or two transactions and is like, I'm not doing awesome here and I need an environment change, or I need something to kind of pick up my business. This is also a great class for that. And I would also do an introduction with me on that so that I can reach out to them as well. Fair? Any questions around this? I would love to see this like a packed room. I mean, I would be happy with 15 people here, but if we could get a ton of people, it would be awesome. No. No. Great question, though. And we will split them up potentially in that class where it's like, if they're in classes, if they're not in classes, just so that we can get them to the right person as well. Cool? Quantum Leap. So we had Quantum Leap last week. We were what are you streaming it? I was shocked. I'm very shocked at the lack of people that, number one, I know that we know young adults that have a vision, don't know how to put it into place, feel lost. I've been to a gazillion grad parties, and I can tell you out of those, there are about 200 kids that I know by name and face that would have been great to go to this class, right? Granted, they're not in any mindset right now to think about anything besides their graduation. But we are also having it in person here. This is not free. They're going to have to pay for this one. It's off-site. Is that correct? And it's going to be taught by JP and Jen Lewis. This is a little bit more intense all day. It's going to at the KW Maple Grove. I don't know, what is the cost on it? Sorry. Somebody scan that and see what that, I think it's on there. Either way, if you didn't have someone that you know make it to that other one, this is a really great opportunity for them to go there again. If you are that young adult that's like, man, I've got big dreams, I have no idea how to go about it, or I feel like my mindset is completely off and I don't know how to shift it back into gear. If you're not a young adult and just want to do the same thing and kind of have a kick in the butt, go to it, sign up, go to it. 200. Well, okay, so I just want to let you guys also know that the one that was in here was free, okay? And we got like nobody here, okay? But I want you to know like the value we're trying to bring in to be able to give to you and your clients as well, right? Because this is a great client reach out. If there's like, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to talk to my sphere because I feel odd, this is a huge value to their children. If someone called me up and said this, even if my kid didn't go, I would be like, man, thank you so much for that. That's a great opportunity for my kid, right? Like, do that. Don't even have the mentality of like, hey, I want someone to go here. Do it as a value call. Hey, I got this great class for, some young adults. Who do you know? I want to have the invite to you. Right?
I think that being part of like other corporations, right? Like not a lot of other places put out stuff that invest just solely to invest in somebody, right? Like And so just the fact that Gary spent all last Friday teaching young people to follow whatever vision they have. Awesome. What an awesome place to be, right? And a company that's like, hey, we don't know if you want to be in real estate, but we want to invest in you as a person. So this is just a really cool thing. And when I talk to friends about it, they're like, oh, what a cool company where they are just interested in investing in you as a person. So.
With nothing to like gain on it, right? It's like, it's truly just trying to make humans better, right? Like better people, personally and professionally. All right, next.
Oh. You want me to
I'm
come up?
really weirded out by you being in the back corner and not like, I'm like, you switched
Should
it
I do
up.
it from here?
No, you gotta come up front.
All right.
Like when, you switch
Get used to
spots,
do.
it's like.
Well, Candy told me not everybody reads emails, even though they're from me.
Oh, do you remember my thing? I have my open right now when I send out mine, I can see exactly who opens it. You don't even have to read it, but you gotta open it, otherwise I know.
Right. So on Tuesday, I don't know if everybody gets it or reads it. Obviously, I do send out an email. Just a quick market update, so you kind of be in the know of what's going on for your clients. So we thought maybe it'd be good if I start standing up again and answer any questions that you have on that, or also just give you a quick once over, right? Big news right now, tomorrow or today, Paul's got his press conference today. Big thing to listen for is if he's confident that we're gonna get the two rate cuts before the end of the year, we might see a little bit of a rally in rates. If he's less confident, we might see rates go the wrong way, right? The big thing to think about it though, is this is really near term thinking on that end. Long term, and what we've seen this year so far is we really haven't seen rates go too crazy. They've kind of been within a margin of, 6.75 plus or minus a little bit. And that's kind of what they're expecting for the rest of the year into the fall. Of course, who knows? Things can change drastically, but for all intents and purposes, it's been a pretty calm time for the spring into the summer now. So that's what I've seen. I don't know. Anybody have any questions, thoughts, ideas? Anything I can help with?
What are you seeing for people? What are you guys seeing your realtors do to, kind of, get around the interest rates? Are you, without being in multiple offers, are you seeing where the seller is buying down the interest rates?
I'm not seeing a ton of it.
No.
It all depends on the property.
Okay.
On that.
Are you doing like 2-1 buy downs? I mean, what are you doing
We have
to?
all of that available, but honestly, it's not become as much as a positive thing. The big thing I offer for clients to give them a little bit of stability is a free refinance where I cover the lender fees
Okay.
within 3 years.
Okay.
So rates
So
come
cool.
down, it makes it a lot easier. It's kind of a 2-for-1 for them
Yeah.
to get that. Plus, when I talk to them, we've got a free float down as well. So if rates do drop.
Within how many days prior to closing?
People are
What
like,
is
ooh,
this?
what's a float down?
Float down is basically if the market tanks, we renegotiate their rate. We can lock them, protect it from it going up, but if it goes down, we can break that lock and we renegotiate it and get the lower rate for them beforehand.
How far in advance of closing is that? 2 weeks prior to
Where I
closing?
look at it, yeah. On that, if it's super drastic, we're gonna be able to watch it. I've done it the day of closing when it makes sense. So, that's a big thing to just kind of give that peace of mind with rates. And I think that's the big thing right now is saying, we're in a good spot. Plus, as it goes forward, it's easier to pick your rate once you own the home.
Okay.
Right? So,
Oh, well,
no.
we learned something new this morning. We have somebody who owns a home with a VA loan. They can actually have 2 homes, with their VA, as long as they're within their eligibility.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's not new, but it's new to us. Yeah, exactly. That they can do it. A lot of time the eligibility would be used up, but to get into that, if you have folks who are veterans, there's a lot of options for folks on qualifying for higher loan amounts too, jumbos where they can combine their VA. There's a lot of options for VA folks for sure. So that's a huge advantage.
If they own a home, they might be able to buy a cabin and still use their VA benefit for both, depending on the price point of.
And they can do VA loan multiple times, right, on
That's good
primaries?
How can you have 2 houses that are primary? You just got one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Before they
like-
go, yeah. move in there.
But how much they can.
Sorry, like anyone else
Right.
saw that, I was like,
I
oh.
Right. So that's okay. There's a lot of options there. Oh, okay.
And the VA loans they can do it more than one time? Is there a cap on that? Like the total, okay, so
It's
they
all about the
can,
eligibility on that. Now, I'm not a I don't claim to be a VA expert on that. I just don't do enough to say that I know everything about it, but, it's, yeah, there's a lot of opportunities with that. Say again? For sure.
Eligibility, incumbent on like years served or what they,
I'm sorry, what?
their eligibility, what does that?
It's not something you can figure out. You have to ask them to find it.
They get what's called a COE or search.
And the vet probably doesn't know it's the.
They have to, but they do know how to go find a COE.
We have to go online first.
Right.
They do a pretty good job of telling you what to do, right? Like, just take advantage of that or no, not as well.
You gotta, like,
You gotta teach yourself.
Pretty much, yeah.
As a lender, you can pull a.
Yep. Yep.
Anything else?
Cool. Yeah. We don't have a class.
Okay, who all read the email?
I did.
They didn't respond sometimes.
No, it blows me away every time.
No one responds. All right, up next. Hey guys, good afternoon. We're totally switching things up all the time. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about homesteading and a little bit about fraud prevention. So it is summer, it's hustle and bustle. You get busy, your clients are busy. Also, just a little reminder to slow down, make sure you're hovering over the email addresses, making sure that it's coming to us. So let's talk about joint tenant versus common. Gonna go to the next one. So knowing how you're entitled matters. So for your clients, so make sure that you're communicating if they want to be tenant common or joint tenant, very different things. Joint tenants. Oh, here's where you're gonna find it on the warranty deed. So you can always check your recorded deed, reach out to your title company, or your title company who's close with your clients. They should have a copy. That's one way that you can receive that to double check that. Tenants in common means that you are going to have to go to state if there is a death within common. Joint tenants meaning that the other person has right to that property. They don't have. To qualify for homestead status, you have to own the property, occupy it as your primary residence, be a resident. You want to do that by the end of the year if you go to the next one. So just make sure on your property tax statement that you're homesteaded. You can apply online. Or if ownership changes, make sure that that's a good way if you see, I don't know, again, like a touch point with your guys' clients. If you see a life event, if you want to check with them, make sure that they're homesteading their property. And then wire fraud and email phishing. So within wire fraud, real estate transactions, $160,000 is the average loss for your clients. So we do want to make sure to secure that. One way we secure our emails is a portal called Qualia. So there's an extra layer of protection for you guys within that. So a little less worry for scammers or anything like that, just popping in the box. If you have, make sure and tell your clients, if you get something in the mail that's saying that they have to pay for a deed, that is a scam. They do not have to do that. Your title company provides that for you for free. Again, reach out to any title company to get the deed that you close with on your husband. We have that available. You do not have to do that. Do not send money to anybody. That as well. They're really good about sending those out multiple times, like whoever they are.
So how to prevent and protect yourself, work with a reputable title company, verify the email address, like I said. Always hover over the email address that is getting it sent from. They're really tricky to, instead of Mel@Great North Title, it could be like Mel2@GreatNorthTitle.com. So it's important to know the contact that you guys are with. And just again, reminding that. Our title company will put you guys on any communication with your client. Too. So if they're getting anything outside of that you're not getting, and they see that you're not on that email, that's another.
Okay, so another email sent out is my newsletter. In every single newsletter, there is a play. There is a play in every single one. There's the calendar, there's usually a podcast and a book, right? Maybe, you may or may not read it. The play this week, does anyone remember what it was? Did anyone look at it?
Maybe.
Yes, it was social media. Funny because we actually had our international call, or was it regional? It was a regional call and it was on social media. And I think a lot of people get overwhelmed with social media. I get overwhelmed with social media, like who to follow, what should I do? How are people successful on it, right? If that's something you want to do, if it's not something you want to do, but yet you know it's something that will bring in money, there are multiple plays in this playbook that I have in my office, right? So this is just one of them. And this is one to essentially get a ton of followers, right? So you have to be able to put yourself out there. And the best part about this is if you're more introverted, you get to put yourself out there behind a computer or a phone screen, right? So you don't have to talk to anyone face to face. You legitimately are almost like, direct messaging them. You're connecting with them in a different way. I find this like 6-step process, if you did this on a weekly basis, right, you just kind of followed it, right? Like not all of the steps, because you're going to already have your geographic area or what you want to actually focus on. But if you follow this every single week, you'll be shocked at how many followers you can get, right? And how many of them will engage with you in a very different way. It takes work. It's another form of lead gen. It's another form of connection, right? But it's a different form of connection. If you're like, I don't like cold calls, I don't like seeing people at open houses, whatever, this is a great avenue. Did anyone take a look at this? From the email? Okay, what did you think? You're actually pretty active on social media in regards to your guys' team. What has been some of your wins in regards to either getting followers, getting interactions? Is it similar to this, or do you do something different?
I would say whenever we post more about like our team and like photos of actually us and like the desserts, we get a lot more traction on that, rather than just like posting an under contract photo of a house.
Okay, so there's like actual human beings in it, right? Or you guys do a lot of congratulations, and it's the buyer or the seller, or there's like a story to it, right? So I think when social media came out, it was one where I think everyone just put just listed, just sold, it's a house, it's fun, and now you just see patterns of that. If you're like me, I legitimately am like, great, and I'm in this business, right? And I'm like, I don't care. Like what attracts me though is like a cool house picture, like a cool feature. Like if you really want to get me to watch your Instagram, put up some wallpaper. If you're like, this is my favorite wallpaper, I'm like, oh, so in, right? Because there's some wallpaper that's nuts out there. But it's different things that attract people to actually look, because no one really cares that you just closed on a house. I can promise you that. No one actually cares. Besides the people that closed on the house and they actually didn't look at that on Instagram. What they want to know is, who did you close that house for? What was the story? Was it cool? Can I relate? Right? Like if you're like, hey, I've been working with this person, I've known them since kindergarten, and we just bought their first house together. It was such a cool journey. I remember the first time that we went down the slide and blah, 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 and now we're sitting here and we found a play set for you and your daughter, right? Like that's a cool story. It's so much cooler than you just putting up their new house with the playset in the backyard. Or maybe it is just the playset. Someone's like, why is there a playset on there, right? Okay, so again, when we do these plays, this is a real human being that does this, follow this to get this result, right? So this isn't just like, hey, try it and see if it works. Brandon is a real person that actually has been up on stage for Mega Camp or Family Reunion or has been in different breakouts that his success has been in Instagram. This is one of his 2 avenues or 3 avenues of generating leads. The biggest thing I think that you guys can look at, right, is conversion rates. We talk a lot about numbers, and a lot of times people don't know their numbers because they're like, I don't want to know my numbers. I don't want to know how much is in my bank account. I don't want to know how many people I talk to. I don't want to know any of that, right? Because a lot of times we don't like the numbers. So his is 40,000 followers with a 0.1% conversion rate. Most of you would be like, ugh, 0.1%? Like, if I saw that as a conversion rate, your brain would go to, that's a horrible conversion rate, right? In your mind. Yet, like, truly, he's getting 40 units out of that a year.
That would be okay.
How many of us want to do 40 units a year in real estate? Right? So numbers matter, right? And how we portray those numbers matter. So if you get 0.1% conversion out of your 40,000 followers and you get 40 closed transactions just from that, I would say that's a success. Would you guys agree with that? Okay, so how do we do this? Who wants to start? Number 1. You guys have it in front of you. Someone that has it in front of you.
Sorry, I have.
You don't have it in front of you. Never mind.
You're gonna have to read it.
All right, so start local, right? So it says start by choosing your ideal geographic area where you want to list and sell homes. Where would this be for most of you? It would be where you live or where you work, right? It's where you know or where you want to be, right? Those are the 3 options. You're not going to randomly start following people in Seattle if you're not selling real estate in Seattle or you don't want to be in Seattle, right? Example, I follow a ton of people in Montana, right? I'm currently not selling real estate in Montana, but what I am doing is I am following everyone I need to know so that when I move out there, they also know me, right? They know that I'm interacting with them and their businesses. And when I come out there, I'm going to all of their restaurants, I'm going to their shops, I'm introducing myself, right? Also, locally, who do you want? Like, there's neighborhood, I think we talked about this. There's neighborhood restaurants, there's neighborhood shops, there's your local seamstress. I don't know. Sure, that seems like Taylor's clothes. Like, get to know those people, right? So number 2, create your Insta brand. I don't know the specific rules on this, but I think that having 2 different accounts is incredibly challenging. Okay, and a lot of people are like, I want to keep my personal life and my business life separate. If you can do that in the real estate world, good for you. I don't think you can actually do that, in my personal opinion. Whoever wants to disagree with me, I'd love to hear your opposite side on that, but you are spending so much time with these individuals and you are working very interesting hours, right? So like, you're leaving a soccer game from your child, you're leaving family dinner nights, there are things that are coming up that they know who you are, unless you are really good at, kind of putting up a facade, right? So I truly believe, like, for Brandon, his is called Living Chicago Suburbs, right? He not only is selling there, he's living there, and he posts personal and professional to that, right? So when he's out at a restaurant, he's posting about whatever that restaurant is. As he's out to dinner with whoever he's out to dinner with, right? Like, we loved this, we love this. We just frequented this, right? And then he adds in all of his business stuff to it, right? So you've got some of the listings, hey, we just sold this. Hey, guess what's coming up, right? How many of you have 2 separate accounts?
I have 2 separate on Facebook.
Okay. How many of you work both of those accounts really well?
Whatever she's. I didn't set any of it.
Okay. So, I mean, business pages are good for ads and stuff, but how many of you work your business and your personal page to the highest ability that it can? What's the average followers everybody has? Go on your phone. I know you all have your phones, sit on it during this meeting all the time. Go on your Instagram. Tell me how many followers you have. Let's see how many there are.
Don't have an Instagram.
Don't have an Instagram. Okay, we're gonna work on that.
1948.
1948. That's you personally.
No, God, no.
Okay. Okay, 1948. What else?
Only 1,130. Dang, right?
Okay,
Nice.
there you go. What else? Give me some more numbers.
Is it really cut down to 100?
800, okay. 28,
228.
228, okay. Anybody else? Anybody else?
133.
533.
447.
447. Okay, so if we were to do the 0.1% of that, right? You would get 19-ish, right? You get 19 leads from their Instagram. Some of you would maybe get one. How many of us go on to social media sites on a daily basis? If we're all honest, I know a lot of us go on all the time, because I see the little green button when I'm sitting there that people are on, right? So whether we say we like these things or not, right? Because I think sometimes I do not like Instagram, Facebook, or any of them. People are like, you're on it all the time. I was like, yeah, because that's how I've made myself in front of people, right? People know what's going on in my life. I mean, I still remember when I was like new at the brokerage, and you would come up to me and you'd be like, how was Reese's soccer game this weekend? I had not talked to John. Like, I had texted him to tell him Reese had a soccer game. John knew all of that because he saw me posting about it. And I can tell you, every single time he said that to me when I was a newer agent, I was like, man, this guy really cares about me, right? At that time, he may or may not have. Just kidding. But like, it made me feel like he knows what's going on in my life, right? Like, this is the way that our society has went, is like, you get to know something, you know everything about everybody, that when they post, like, you know and then you see them in the store and you're like, I know that you were, just eating out at Red Cow yesterday. I know that your daughter won the Tonka Splash. Like, you know these things. Guess what? That is all like ammunition for, hey, how was the soccer tournament last weekend? Oh man, thanks for asking. It rained a ton. It was awful. It was cold. I'm like, sometimes I can't believe it, right? I wish my kid played volleyball, whatever. Like, you guys, there's ways to utilize this. And if you don't have a ton of followers, next step, right? You don't have to have a ton of friends. Because I know some of you are like, I don't have that many friends. Guess what? Let me check on my Instagram how many I have on my personal. I have 2,349 followers on my personal, but I follow 4,180. I can guarantee you I don't know all 4,180. I don't even know if I like all 4,180, but there's a reason I'm following them, right? Whether or not it's, again, a business, a public leader, whatever it is, I'm following them so the algorithm gets into my feed and I get into their feed, right? Because then guess what? When you go on there and it's like, you may know such and such, there's a reason it says that. Either one, you were stalking them and you're not friends with them yet, or they like the things that you like, or they know the people that you know. It's really creepy, but you have to utilize it, right? So in here, it says follow local accounts in the area that you're taking, develop your brand, right? So things like coffee shops, country clubs, restaurants, local shops, wedding venues. How many of us follow like bridal shops? You should. What happens before or after the wedding? They buy houses or they sell the two houses that they were once living together. Like, these are all big things in people's lives, right? Local malls, bars, wineries, small businesses, wineries and small bars and like microbrews. When you follow those accounts, be the best stalker in the world, okay? I hope this is recorded so everyone knows, like, I'm saying all of the things that are probably not supposed to be said, but they have events, right? They have events of different people. Hey, guess what? This week we're having, dog adoption, blah, blah, blah. Come for a free beer and you can see everyone from, whatever adoption agency. If that's your passion, would that be a good thing to show up to? Yes. Would that be a good thing to comment on? Yes. Would that be a good thing to share? Yes. Hey, who's going to show up with me at, blah, 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 to go see the puppies. You're gonna get engagement with that. You didn't have to post anything. It's like clicks, taps, right? And then all of a sudden they're gonna like you and be like, hey, thanks for the share. Because they're a business too. Does this sound semi-easy right now, or is this like, no, I'm not gonna do that? Semi-easy, right? Okay, so after we do that, it says start socially farming, because what do we do? Like, what do we do as humans? Well, number one, if I have someone that follows me, I'm like, who is that? Do I know them? I'll go search their page and I'll either say yes or no. There are other people that are like, ooh, follow back, right? Like immediately. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, you pop up and you comment, and you're like, I have no idea who this is. And you're like, yeah, but you followed them back, right? So now you've allowed them to come into your circle. People are gonna say, I don't want my life public. Newsflash, you're a real estate agent, everything about you is online. Everything. Your phone number, your email, where you work, like anyone can find out anything about you if they really want to. If I wanted to, I could find out your home address without knowing it from here. If I wanted to, I could find out all of your like background. You can find all of that out online. That you can do that as any human. Like right now, you can find anything out about anyone. Right? So if you're like, ooh, I just want my life to be private, probably not the best career, right? You can keep some stuff private, right? Your whole life doesn't have to be blasted. Don't do that either. Don't like blast everything, but it can't be completely private, right? If you don't want your kids online, because that's a real thing, just don't put your kids on there then, right? Like that's a real thing. Just keep it as you. You can talk about them. You don't have to put pictures of your children. You don't have to put pictures of your partner or your spouse. Like there can be guidelines for sure, right? So then it goes into, as your feed fills with local businesses, you'll notice those businesses have people who follow them as well, right? So that's a common like passion. You both like going to this specific coffee shop. You both like this particular neighborhood, right? So odds are they usually live in the same neighborhood as you, or they frequent that neighborhood, or they want to live in that neighborhood, right? Because when I follow things, it's things that I either want, right? Like I want to go to that place, or I want to see that place, or I want to travel that place, or I want to move to that place, or it's where I actually live so I know what's going on. So his stats are 8 out of 10 people will follow you back. I would probably agree with that stat, that 8 out of 10 people, when you follow them, they're going to follow you back. Just because otherwise, if you're my daughter who's 15 and she follows someone and they don't follow her back, she's like, oh, do they think they're too good for me? Like, right? So she follows everyone back, right? But that's that generation of like, that's how they're thinking, right? So the same thing with like a lot of first time home buyers. It's like, they don't want to follow me back. Why? Right? So they will, they'll follow you back. So then once they do that, this is easy. Copy this saying right here. Hey, thanks for the follow. I like following and supporting local businesses in our town. Are there any others that you would love to follow? Also, if you want to talk about real estate anytime, let me know. That's actually what I do. Super easy copy and paste. I often like see recipes sometimes, like healthy recipes, and it'll say comment in the blah, 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 and it'll send you whatever, right? And then they'll follow up and they'll be like, hey, let me know if you want our cookbook. I actually don't want their cookbook, but I'm not offended when they send me that. I just want the recipe, right? Until all of a sudden I buy the cookbook because I've liked so many of their recipes and I'm like, I should just buy this cookbook. That's them strategically sending out messages that are like, hey, you like this. Hey, you like this. Comment here and I'll get you this. Right? Like we can do that in this industry as well. All right, so then posting. This is the one that I think everyone kind of has like a little bit of a panic attack about, right? Like, did I spell things right? I always love Amanda, because Amanda always calls me out when I spell something wrong.
I don't always, and now I will, but sometimes I let it go.
But I love that because then I'm like, oh, return, right? You gotta have that friend that is like looking at it enough, right? Or like a person that's like, hey, guess what? You probably shouldn't have put this up, or you should have done this. And then it's like, okay, well, delete. But until I get that, it is staying up there for good, okay? Like it's staying up there. So he posts daily and his content falls in 4 different buckets, okay? 4 different buckets. 1, coming soon in news, right? rankings, so, lists in like a real format, restaurant reviews and polls and surveys. Right? Those 4 things are business and can be personal, because if you're reviewing a place, like a restaurant, and guess what? It doesn't even have to be one that you go to. If you see someone like, hey, I just went to, you know, this new restaurant downtown or wherever you want it to be. Hey, I saw you just went there. What is your review for that? Would you mind me just sharing that? Because I've had a lot of people ask me about it and I haven't went. Right? You can use other information. What questions do we have from this so far? Who does this? Okay, go. Yeah. Which one?
We'll email this out after the meeting.
Oh, this, yeah. Any,
Can't find that page in our book.
no, this is in a book called,
Volume 2.
it's,
Oh, that's volume 2.
yep, it's volume 2 of Millionaire like playbook, right? So they came up with some other plays and it has everything in this book, by the way. I think we have some also for purchase if you want all of them. If it's something specific, come to me and we'll talk about the play. You've already had 6 of them sent to you, in the email. So if you've never read the newsletter, just go back and be like, here's different ones that have been sent out. There's a door knocking one, there's a golden letter one. But it's everything. It's database, it's lead gen, so you can go from conversation, sphere of influence, farming, make offers immediately, social media, online leads. It has everything in here. So if you have anything you have a question on, there is a play. There is an agent that is doing this really well somewhere. Right? And the easiest thing to do is just copy it. They're giving it to you to copy it. Just follow it. Here's the piece. Follow it. Don't get creative because you believe that you know better than the play. Because then I can't promise you that it's going to come out the way that they say it's going to come out. Right? Candy.
You can also go on answers.kw.com to learn how you can schedule these posts through command. So you could sit down for one day and get your posts kind of all scheduled out. So that way you don't feel like you have to do it, you know, every day. So that is an option.
You say answers.kw.com.
Then the last part, and this is the part where everyone freezes on. Okay, because this is where you actually have to like ask for information and everyone's like, ooh, can't do it. So what he does is he starts an email list. Okay, so you can put this into command, you can put this into wherever you're, you know, if you don't use command, which you should, it's super easy. Once you've built the following and you built the algorithm and you have enough followers, right? You do freebie. Like right now, a really easy freebie that you could put out there is like, hey, who wants a list of all of the spots that the 4th of July fireworks are going to go off? Go build that list. Send me your email. I'll email it to you. Super easy freebie. Didn't cost you anything. It cost your time and your research. Right? And people are going to want to know that because guess what? I want to know that a lot of times. And then I'm out researching it, trying to figure it out, and you can't find a real spot for it. But you send that out, people will ask, ooh, send me that list. Right? He puts in like parks in the area, a list of restaurants in a specific town, and relocation tips. So there's different freebies that don't cost you anything. The other thing that's not going to cost you anything, or very minimal, even though you'll be like, oh, I don't think so. Find a local coffee shop, go talk to them and be like, hey, anyone that says this word on this day, can you put this on this tab that I'm giving you, right? So it's a credit card, it is whatever. The amount of people that take advantage of that is minimal, but you could say, hey, email me for the, you know, bonus word to get a free coffee at Dunn Brothers on 44th, right? Send me your email so I can send you the code for that on Monday, yada, yada, yada. You've collected their email. The likelihood of them actually getting that coffee is 1 in 10, honestly. Yet you're giving value in different ways, right? And actually, you're not even talking about real estate. You're just putting your brand out there. What do we have for questions? Ahas. Who's gonna do something different with their Instagram?
I'm gonna do something different. I was just thinking, if anybody wanted to hear my calendar share Friday.
Yeah. Why don't we pick a time? Like, pick a time where it's like, hey, you all do it together, right? Because in that call, actually, whatever Monday it was, it showed reel templates. Like, you just put pictures in and the reel's done for you. Like, you don't need necessarily a social media manager to like make this happen, right? It's pretty easy if you just go into the templates and you like follow these things and you follow this pattern, right? And now that Canva's with us, right, you have free pictures even, right? There's different things where you're like, I don't have to have this awesome picture. Like, you could have, go in and get a picture of a lemonade and be like, hey, here's send me your email for a great, mocktail recipe for whatever, right? And then you go find the recipe and just send it to them. I get suckered into that on a weekly basis. You know how many people have my email? So like, well, I want to know if that was good, right? Like, that's real, and we all do it. What else? What other questions?
Posting content. Office.
Yeah, you can repost. I mean, there's an actual app that says repost. You can share anything from there, but if you ever want to just repost what the office shares or what somebody is sharing without their logo being on it, it's an app called Repost. $4.99 a month. And you can repost exactly what they do. And it allows it'll tag them in the in the comments section of whose post it is, but it won't have like KW Lake Minnetonka on it or KWRI, right? Like, it won't have that on it, and you can repost that completely onto your grid.
KW.
Yeah, absolutely you can. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, yes, you can. Yes to all of those.
Should we be tagging the office on our post?
That's a great question, Jelena. Our office loves when people tag us, right? Because part of that is also a community. So then people see that our community is active on social. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people in our office are not as active on social media, right? And I think we are missing the boat. That's why this is kind of a big push for some of our classes this month, is we're missing some of that. And it doesn't have to be difficult. And here's the other thing. I think some people are like, oh yeah, but I'm not like her when I post. Good. Because if you want to be like this other person, you're not that other person. You've got to be you and who you want to work with, right? Like, you shouldn't try to be like the other person. You should authentically be you in a professional manner, right? Like, there are times where I think sometimes people are like, did Kami say that on social media? Yes, I did. Right? Like, because I am who I am too, right? You either like it or you don't. And guess what? There are people that aren't going to like me. There's going to be people that don't like you. Like, that's okay. And there are going to be people that post negatively sometimes, not that often. And you just got to just respond professionally and move on, right? Like, that's kind of also fun. Like, sometimes I put controversial topics up to see what people say, like when it comes to real estate, right? I think the number one was when I said that real estate agents have egos. I don't know if any of you remember this post. Oh yeah, I jumped out on a big limb last year. I might just repost it in my story so you guys can all read it. And it got such great conversation going, right? Because I'm like, here's the problem. I don't see my dentist office posting on Instagram. I don't see them posting even on LinkedIn. I don't see them posting anywhere. My dentist is not like, hey, I just filled a cavity today. I also don't care, right? Like, but real estate agents are like, I showed a home and you should feel like that's cool. Like, it's a different industry. It's so messed up, right? Like, you don't see attorneys being like, I had 5 divorces today. What's up with that? Cool? Yeah, we're good. Everyone's happy. No one does that. It's like this industry that does it. And there's a little bit of it, I think, that like agents just like it, right? Like we feel like we are that important sometimes. That was the post. And let me tell you, it was like, it ripped through comments. And they weren't bad. Everyone was thinking it. Like all of the agents were like, finally someone said this. Because when I go to a dentist, what do? I ask a friend, I'm like, hey, who do you go to? We've created this weird, I don't know, sense around real estate where like no one asks anyone about their real estate agent, we don't think, but they do. We just don't talk about it enough. We're not the name that comes out of their mouth. I mean, can you guys really think of any other industry that like is just all over Instagram? Like, okay, great. What are they? Because I know the ones that are out there, and there's a common theme. So what are they?
Fitness.
Fitness.
There you go.
Okay,
Hairstylist.
hairstylists. So what does that all have to do with? The way people look. Image.
Bodies.
Leave it at that. Okay? Either way though, we gotta get out there. We've gotta be the ones that are out there because if we aren't, somebody else is. And it's as simple as this. And if you post about like dogs, everyone comments on it, right? You post about something your kids did, gazillion comments on it. Sometimes you post about yourself, people are like, I don't care about your face. Right? You might get some likes, but you know what I mean? Like, but people either love accomplishments or drama. That's what they love. That's what you're gonna get, you know what I mean? They like, hey, someone just bought a new house and this was a story from the family. Hey, this is a struggle I'm having, right? When you're real and you talk about a struggle I'm having, like even if it's in your business, people are like, hey, how can I help? Man, I went through that. And when you don't get any likes, trust me, people are still seeing it and following you. There have been people that have followed me for 10 years that all of a sudden like come out and they're like, I want to get in real estate because I've been following your journey for 10 years. I'm like, creepy. And they never like my stuff. They never comment on my stuff. Fun thing is now if they look at your stories, you can see all the people that look at your stories. They're watching. They're watching from afar for some reason, right? Either to connect with you as a human being or potentially get information from you. It's your choice what you put out there. Who wants to do an Instagram challenge to get more followers? 1, 2. Okay, like I want real hands. I want real hands. I want how many people? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, how many followers do we want to have by the end of this month? Like extra followers. They can be your own personal. It can be your own personal goal. You don't even have to say that out loud right now if you don't want to.
There's no fighting.
Okay, how about you guys think about it and email me personally and say, hey, this is what I want by the end of the month, right? And then we can come up with how do we do that, right? Do we have to like 20 new pages? Do we have to like 20 new friends? Do we have to engage? And I can help you along that way. So if you want to actually do that and put that in place, send me an email and we will set a plan in place. Is that fair? And then I'll share mine back with you. I'll share where it's at right now and I'll share where I want to be by the end of the month. Cool? And guess what? If we reach our goal, I might have something cool for all of us to do. I don't know.
I don't know.
I did just do my backyard, maybe we'll have a grill out just to the people that reach their goal. All right, that would be a great post. See, look at your thought process is already different. All right, what else? What else we got? Any questions? Otherwise, we will move on to wants and needs. All right, what's new? What are some new listings? Also, don't forget we have the barbecue grill out, whatever you want to call it, downstairs. Right after this, do you want to text them that we're kind of wrapping up, or they already started? Okay.
They've already started.
Oh, they already started. Awesome. New buyers, new listings coming up.
I have an investor who has 3 sober houses or group homes in Maplewood that he's going to be letting go of in the next couple of weeks. They're currently listed with health. And we're working through some details on how we're gonna get investors in to look at those properties. They're single-family homes. They are not in beautiful show condition, and they won't be. But it would be a spectacular buy for an investor.
What else?
I have an off-market property in Edina, 6 bed, 5 bath, 3 car garage, just under 6,000 square feet, beautiful yard. And
The yard's like-
The yard, Kami has seen it, the yard is dialed, also buyer need in Edina, under 3.5.
else? All right, well, I wanna see everyone downstairs, and then we also have R&R tonight, 4 to 6-ish. Otherwise, have a great day.